the Copa America for the first time as Messi loses yet another international final. Nadal is out of Wimbledon and the Ashes is just around the corner. I have Ayaz Memon with me in the studio to talk us through all the sporting action from this week. Ayaz, let's just jump in. Let's start with what's just happened today morning.
With your passion, football.
Football.
Okay.
The Women's World Cup.
Yes. The US winning again.
Yes, after
and
1999.
I was just reading the tweets and the captain of the team, Carly, I think.
She scored a hat-trick. She's not the captain, but she's...
Well, Carly,
Yeah.
she sent out a tweet to President Barack Obama, who's invited them to the White House, and she said, you know, here I come to the White House. So I love that interaction between the president and one of the star players of the team. That shows you how much sports is ingrained into their society, in their country. And that to me was a highlight, apart of course from the fact that the US won, the US women's team.
Yeah, so they defeated Japan 5-2 and they were up 4 goals in 16 minutes.
So I mean, it was almost like a juggernaut, you know, you couldn't stop them. Within the first quarter, so to speak, Japan were out of the game. To recover from a 4-0 deficit in any sport for any team is extremely difficult. I haven't seen that happen too often in my lifetime at any level. And
the fact that, you know, throughout the tournament, there were so few goals. It was a very defensive tournament and the final just flowed. There were goals after goals and it's really nice to watch.
It may have been a sense of the occasion and the fact maybe strategic also. I mean, you know, the analysis of the Americans may have shown this is the way we need to play. And if the defense crumbles, there's nerves, there's panic, all of these factors come into play. We might feel that they're international sports persons and therefore they can't panic, but they do. All of us do. So I think that may have happened. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, when you're down 4-0 in 16 minutes, how do you recover? Yeah. So Carly Lloyd, as she said, she's the first woman to score a hat-trick in a final. Yes. She was the player of the tournament, won the golden ball, highest number of goals scored. From USA, the other final that just happened on Saturday, Copa America. Well, that was a big surprise, of course. Chile won on penalties, 4-1. Apart from being the home team, you know, which was obviously an advantage. And look, all the Latin American countries are very passionate about football. There is a high level of efficiency or competence at which they play. But even so, to beat Argentina was a big ask, you know. I didn't expect Chile to win. I thought that, you know, Argentina would actually win this quite easily. And given the kind of form their players had been, the Argentine players, the team itself. But yet again, and there seems to be some kind of a jinx over Messi. Yeah, exactly. When he dons the Argentina colours. Third international final that he's lost. 2 Copa America finals, 1 World Cup. You think the team relied too heavily on him because... But inevitably, you know, I mean, you have to rely on Messi. If you have Messi in your team, you would rely on him. But I don't think he's at fault because he's one of 11 players. But there's something which is, you know, attached to his name when he's playing for Argentina, which is that he's not winning them the finals. So I would just say that the collective of Chile won over Messi's individual brilliance. They just fell short, you know. That's a little harsh. You know, it's not just his individual brilliance. He had glorious chances, couldn't convert. But he was the only guy who converted the penalty. Yeah, Messi, Messi, you know. So, I mean, look, I think he's done his bit. Look at it from his point of view. When he walks out to play, I mean, it was much like Tendulkar in the first half of his career, first 10 years. He walked out to play, everybody thought if he makes runs, India has a chance, otherwise India has gone. And inevitably, that's how the opponents also saw. So they would try and get Tendulkar's wicket, and the minute he was gone, the team's morale would drop in the dressing room, and you know, we would fare badly, and so on and so forth. So when you have a player, a stellar player like that, it's not easy at all to being part of that team. Yeah, but he still has, I'm sure, a lot more international titles to go. Yeah, he's still young. Yeah, you know, he can play for 6 years at least. Hopefully, but he's played a lot. Remember, he started off very early, so we don't know how long his career will last. But obviously, he will want to do something for Argentina before he hangs his boots. Yeah. So from Messi, one player who's not performing, to another who's failed again on grass, Rafael Nadal. He's out in the second round. He's been sent out to chew cud, isn't it? 4 years in a row. It baffles me. It boggles my mind. So I think 2012, 2013, he was clearly under injury. Yeah. But 14, 15. At least what I can make out, his serve, once it doesn't start, you know, he relies too much on his serve. And if that's not working, Brown kept attacking every serve. He would just go for the winner. Yeah. And then his forehand. But nothing to lose for Brown. You know, when you're 103 ranked and you're playing Nadal, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. But I must say, I watched that match from start to finish, and he was in a different zone, Brown. I mean, I haven't seen many players play like that, you know, sustained aggression. First serve, second serve, return of serve, everything completely, masterly. Yeah, and it's surprising because you talk about his serve. He played 99 serve and volley points. Yes. In this
in our era where it's dying. It's completely dying, and he won 71 points out of those.
And he's from Germany.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, he's from
He's from Jamaica.
So there must have been a lot of reggae parties when he beat Nadal in Jamaica itself, apart from in Germany. But I find that there are certain kinds of players who just seem to come on into their own on their favorite surface once in a while, like Dustin Brown this year.
He defeated Nadal last year at Halle.
At Halle, yes. So he's had a a kind
big
of a
hitter,
history.
big server.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's turning out to be the weak spot for Nadal on grass. I mean, look, let's not take anything away from Nadal. He's won Wimbledon, and there are not many people who won Wimbledon and the French Open. So you have to give him credit for being what he is. But is my question, and you're an avid tennis follower, is Nadal looking more and more a spent force?
On grass, definitely. I think, there'll always be a player.
Even the French Open, he didn't win.
I think a lot of people are saying he needs a new coach, new voice in his camp.
Apart from Uncle Tony.
Yeah. And maybe it's time for him.
Yeah. Well, I think he just needs to get his game up a couple of notches. I think that's what's missing.
Yeah. So Nadal may have lost, but Indians are still doing well. Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis.
Fantastic, isn't it?
They're ranked 1. They're top seeds.
And Martina Hingis with Leander. So Martina Hingis, as a doubles player on a comeback trail after maybe a decade or so, and both the Indians obviously partnering her and benefiting. But I think really we need to keep a watch out for Sania and Hingis. Top ranked. I think this is the title they really want, because then they will have won all.
Yeah.
At least Sania would have won all.
That's true. Okay, so Indians doing well at Wimbledon, and let's pick our Indian of the week. I believe that the Indian hockey team, the women's Indian hockey team,
fantastic. Are they in the Olympics or not?
So they've almost made it.
Technically, I believe they are. I mean,
almost.
In terms of mathemacau.
Yeah. So
there might be a mathematical probability that they might not make it, but otherwise they're in.
Yeah. So the thing is, all the big teams are qualified.
Yeah.
Australia, Netherlands, Great Britain, all of them have qualified. And so if one of those teams wins the cups in the future, there's a spot that opens up, and India is next in line after USA.
So I think that would be a fantastic achievement, because for almost I would say
1980 we last made it for the first time.
Correct. No, I'm saying in terms of hockey, for almost 80 years, the focus has been on the men's team. It's our national sport. This is our passion. This is our pride. But it was always about the men, not about the women. And now this is what I saw the headline in one of the papers. It's a Chak De moment for India. Women's hockey. And at least in the movie it was fiction.
Yeah.
But here it's fact. They haven't won the title, let's be clear.
Yeah.
But if they qualify for Rio, it'll be terrific, because it just opens up a roadmap for women's hockey in India to play at the highest level, at the upper echelons.
So one step forward for Indian women's hockey team.
I think for Indian sport, women in sport in India, I think it's not just about Indian, like Mary Kom is not just about hockey, boxing for women, it's about women in sport. I think that's a big breakthrough. And
Indian men had qualified,
They've qualified from winning last year.
Pakistan has not qualified. They've missed out on qualification.
Shocker, Nikhila, because for the first time in their history, they became a country in 1947. From 1948, they've been in every Olympics. Now they won't be there in 2016, and it shows you how rapidly, I believe, the decline has happened. But a spate of resignations.
Coach
Islauddin has quit. Captain has quit.
Mohammad Imran has stepped
Coach
down.
Shahnaaz Sheikh. These are great names. But, for the last 25-30 years, there's been this lament that, Asian-style hockey has slumped very badly. Pakistan seemed to stay afloat till about 10-12 years ago, a little above India. Now, India seemed to be a bit on but they didn't finish very strongly in the Hockey World League. However, they had a couple of good wins to their credit, but Pakistan hockey is in complete disarray.
Well, they did. They won the gold medal last in 1984.
The Olympic gold medal.
The Olympic gold medal.
Yes, that was in LA.
Let's take a look at how they did that.
Yes, that was the magic of Pakistan hockey.
Yeah, they defeated Germany 2-1. And this was the first World Cup that was won in overtime.
First Olympic?
First Olympic medal.
Olympic, yes.
And that's the winning goal. Sport has completely changed.
So till about 1984, they were in the top team in the world. Though Australia and Germany and the Netherlands had really come up. India were fading. But Pakistan was still around.
Yeah.
They were top.
They defeated West Germany.
They defeated West Germany. They won the medal.
Yeah.
But since 1984, Pakistan have also been, kind of very iffy. But this is a real shocker. I must say that Pakistan not being in the Olympics
is shocking. It's shocking. So they have a lot of rethinking and re-strategizing to do. And Ayaz, what are we looking ahead to in this week?
Well, we're looking. In cricket, the Ashes, of course.
The Ashes is starting on Wednesday.
Yes.
How excited are you for the Ashes?
I'm very excited. From the promo onwards, what I've seen,
Yeah.
and obviously the kind of form, run-in form, the Australians, I think they start favourites. Remember, they lost in 2013, but they won towards
Last
the end
year.
of 2013.
Okay.
And you know, they demolished England. Really.
Yeah. That was a
This is
very
a very
comprehensive
very good Australian team, and they run in form. They're scoring 400 runs in a day. Their bowlers are, you know, just blowing away opponents. So on paper and on current form, Australia look very, very strong. The batting has looked good. The bowling with Mitchell Johnson, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, they
Yeah.
had a blow. Ryan Harris
Harrison.
was amongst their most consistent bowlers, has pulled out a few days earlier, before the first test. So that's a bit of a blow, because I think he would have played in the first test. Nevertheless, their bench strength is so good. So I think Australia, their batsmen are in form. Steve Smith, he's in golden form still. David Warner, Michael Clarke himself, Shane Watson, and Mitch Marsh fighting for a place.
But what about England? What should we watch out for them?
But the good part for England is that they've had a good competitive series against New Zealand. They didn't win it, the test series. It was 1-1, unfortunately a 2-test series. But they looked good. They didn't look completely demoralized. So I think, and they've got almost a new look team, so to speak. They need some key players to be in form, like Ian Bell. The form of Alistair Cook will be very crucial at the top of the order. But players to watch out for, and both of them are there, Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid. They are spinners, all-rounders, a little more spunky than what you would expect from the English players generally, because they are of Asian origin. But the guy I'm really looking forward to is Ben Stokes, because he's got the makings of a champion all-rounder. He's aggressive, he can bowl quick, he can play the big shots, he can score rapidly, he can be a match winner. Now if Australia succeed in subduing him and Alistair Cook at the start, then I think England are going to be in big trouble. And if they lose the first match badly, then I think you might see a rout.
So the first test starts on Wednesday in Cardiff. India take on Zimbabwe, and the Wimbledon action continues. This is what we'll be tracking this week, and follow us on boomlive.in to get all our updates. See you next week, guys. Bye.